YouTubers, are there tuition-free universities in the USA? Well, there certainly are, and there are more and more of them nearly every day. And I'm going to talk about that in this video. And one of the most recent champions of the free tuition movement, the University of Texas. Now, tuition-free college is a big topic mainly because of the upcoming 2020 elections. Particularly Democratic candidates seem to be espousing this, free college for all. The problem with their approach is that it would involve wealth confiscation, redistribution, heavy taxation. It'd put more families in a strained situation where it'd be tough. I feel like tough for kids to go to college just in general. There's a better way, and that's at the state level, and more importantly at the institutional level. But it's a very real problem, a very real need. In this country, there are 44 million Americans with a combined 156 trillion in student loan debt. That is mind-boggling. That is a mind-boggling statistic. And student loan debt is more. It's a larger number than all credit card and auto loans put together. Just a gigantic crisis. But that means that the average payment on student loans, this is average, $393 a month. And that means that there are a lot of people paying way more than that. So it's a very pressing need. But I did want to talk about the University of Texas. The University of Texas has been consistently ranked among the 10 most affordable, Power 5 universities in America. It's an outstanding academic institution. And they've done something just magnificent. And I wanted to call your attention to, for Texas residents, students who are Texas residents who finish in the top 6% of their high school class or have a high ACT score, if they are living in a household that has an income of $65,000 or less, they will go to the University of Texas free. Their fees will be free. Now, they still have to pay room and board and incidental expenses, those sorts of things. But this is just amazing. $10,354 a year is about the average tuition, in-state tuition at the University of Texas. So that means that plus fees, a kid could be saving $50,000 to $60,000 over their college career at the University of Texas. Can you imagine shaving $60,000 off your student loan debt total? I mean, that's just huge. And yeah, I know this, a lot of people will say, well, this excludes a lot of students. Yeah, but it depends on how your perspective, it's opening the door to a lot of bright students who lived in low to middle income households who couldn't go to the University of Texas because they couldn't afford it. So we're taking steps. We're seeing universities and regent systems all over the country take steps to making college education affordable. Let me give you another example. Another example would be in the state of Georgia. Since 1997, the state of Georgia, they've got a fund or a foundation. It's called the Hope Fund. And they take the money from their lotto system and pump it into this program. But if you're a resident of Georgia, and I think it takes a couple of years living in the state of Georgia to become a resident, and you have a B average, you can go to a Georgia State University or college tuition free. I mean, that is a good deal. There's some fine schools, University of Georgia, Georgia Tech, there's just some really fine institutions in Georgia. I live in Kansas. There's examples around Kansas, little church school, Barclay University, another Lutheran school in Lynchburg, Kansas, Bethany College, who just in the last few years said, hey, if you're a high school student and you live in this county where Bethany College is at, or the adjoining county, you can come to Bethany College tuition free. You got to pay for room and board. And you never want to discount these small colleges and these small universities. They have a lot of scholarships and endowments, and I never think you can't afford that. But the point is, there are tuition free universities in the USA. You just got to do a little looking. Let me give you another example. And I've talked about this on my channel before, but I went to Google and I used what Google calls an operator, a search operator. And simply I typed in all in title, colon, and if for our example, I just typed in the state of Arkansas, free tuition, just like you see it. You can do that for any state in the union, and you're going to find some results. But on this first page, it talks about Arkansas. They've got a program where if you're a resident of Arkansas and you go into a field of study that is high demand, probably, education and medicine might be one, and you decide to stay in Arkansas and use your degree and kind of pay back the state, they will pay for your tuition. I mean, it's just fantastic. And I get tired, of the bad news, people painting a bad picture that, if you're opposed to just blanket free tuition for anybody who wants to go to school, you hate kids, you hate college students. That's nonsense. Politicians do not hold the key to free tuition in the United States. And I don't care whether you're Republican or Democrat. The key is not in the hands of those politicians. The key is in the hands of outstanding institutions and leaders like we find at the University of Texas, the University of Georgia, the University of Arkansas, the Regent systems of all those fine states, and other small colleges in the state where you live. So if you're a student, and you start looking in your state, what's available there, and maybe you would like to go out of state. Maybe your family or you need to move to the state of Texas for a year or two before you enroll and take advantage of some of these programs. But this is good news. This is the kind of stuff that mainstream media doesn't talk about enough. It's underreported. And, you listen to all the haranguing, all the clamoring as the election draws near. And here's another thing for you guys. As the closer that the election gets, and after they settle in on a candidate on both sides, they're not going to talk about free tuition anymore because it's really not viable, and they're going to get more middle of the road, more moderate, and you won't hear much about it at all. But believe me, free tuition is out there in the good old USA. And I want to thank you for watching my video. I'd ask that if you liked it, you would give me a thumbs up and subscribe to Media Cure. Thanks again.